So, just wanted to highlight the narcs versus normal um, imbalance. How they tended to double down and get entrenched in a dysfunctional momentum. And also just in denial of how it harms them and really harms other people. But you're doubling down on control instead of balance. And what do we mean? Well, I think it's normal for any range of development to like to influence people, right? So if you have value to add to a situation, you want to influence other people in order to serve your collective end, right? To get a win-win outcome. So you want them to be receptive to your value, to your insight, in order that you feel validated, but also that you guys are going to have a synergistic relationship. So you should like influencing people. The problem is when you double down on that, and so because that feels good, that becomes the ultimate aim, and then you globalize this feeling, right? So I must control every aspect of someone for stability and esteem. And if that becomes your definition of an end game or goal, at that point you're dysfunctional and you start to behave in this compounding momentum dysfunctional way. So in order to achieve that goal of total control being the only ideal for esteem and stability, you cannot have any empathy. That does not serve your aim, and so you have to extract that notion entirely. You can't have any accountability, so you cannot. You have to be an oblivious wrecking ball, right? You have to be oblivious to the damage that you do, because that doesn't serve your aim of total control over another person. If your goal is to be a good slave driver, you cannot be focused on the fact that people are enslaved and a fellow human is suffering. Right? So you have to maintain a sense of total entitlement. So you do not recognize other people's boundaries. They are, other people are your possessions. They are your appliances. They're things. They're objectified. You cannot be faulting yourself for the past, and so you look back on what you've done and you don't see any kind of fault in contributing to any kind of relationship outcome. Black or white thinking. So a person is good or bad. Um, and this only serves to the point of are they under control or not. If they're not under control, it doesn't serve your end of stability equals total control, and stability and esteem equals total control. So this pattern got doubled down on, whereas a normal range of development would say balance, right? So that's a pivotal point in a developmental uh, um, track that just gets missed, and they basically chose the wrong track. So when you look at normative development, it's being comfortable with a paradox, right? They did not need to double down on influencing other people. That's one aspect of normal development. I like influencing other people, but I also like to be influenced by other people. And that's the difference between a narcissist and a normative, right? Um, a normative will say, okay, I feel more comfortable when another person is strong, right? I don't have to be the only one armed in the room. If everybody has like a firearm, for example, symbolizing power, I feel more comfortable when everybody's in power, even though they can be a threat to me. So you are comfortable with that trade off, um, because again, synergy is comfortable with paradox. My stability comes from mutual strength, right? Yes, it means risk. It means vulnerability if you have somebody or partner with somebody with their own autonomy. but it also can mean increased stability because each person can act as their own agency and act in the couple's agency. So, differentiation and connection, um, it is normative stability. The variety of growing from another person, right? So you like to be influenced by other people because you like to grow from them. The only reason why a narcissist likes different traits from another person, they absorb those traits and use it to refine their manipulative tactics. Whereas a normative person accepts another person's value or different skill set they're bringing to the table, uses, okay, how do I lean on that person? How do I get stronger by that value? And how do I, contribute to the synergy of the connection and the relationship? So that's the difference. One is working towards a perpetual win-lose, which turns into a lose-lose. This is an unwinnable, unsustainable situation, emotionally unsustainable. This is more risk, but at the end of the day, you have the potential for synergy, um, being that one person isn't the controlled and one person isn't controlling. So that is the difference between normative development and and narcissistic development. Hinges around the influence of others, and whether that's the totality, that's going to be the entire definition of the game, or that's just going to be an aspect of it, an aspect that has an extreme, an aspect that has to be balanced with another development, which is mutual strength. So, something to consider. Thanks for listening.